So, hello everybody to the Hugh Hattrick channel. I am not Hugh Hattrick, this handsome devil to my whichever side it is as you're looking, the boldy one. He is Hugh Hattrick. Why am I introducing it? Well, welcome, I would say, to the Home Office as we delve into the Hugh Hattrick channel and its history and the frankly idiotically unprecedented and crazy growth that we've seen in the past few weeks, really, isn't it? It's only been a few weeks.
Not even a month.
Not even a month. Now, my name is Rumar. I am not talented, not handsome, and not really the reason this channel's any good. Baldy Four Eyes there, he is talented, he is handsome, and he is the reason why this channel is really good. So, I first joined this man, I would say, well, no, I know when it is. It was the 21st of August, 2019, was when we first did a Podbean stream together, like a podcast.
Yeah.
Then the 7th of November was the first time we did a YouTube video together. But of course, the channel was around for a little bit longer than that. So, Hugh, why don't you tell us when you started, why you started, and who you started? I'm thinking of Andrew Dixon.
Yeah.
And what your philosophy when it was the big mouthful of the Car Sim and Race Driver Show. Over to you, Hugh.
Well, hello. It's good to have you on board there, Roo. Thanks very much for the introduction. Well, I started the channel back in 2008, actually, because the first time I went to Jerez to watch the F1 testing, I had managed to take a little video on my little camera, and Lewis Hamilton raced by, and I managed to get it on video. I think it's one now that I had it on video, I didn't actually know what to do with it. And I thought, how am I going to let anyone see it? Because normally family and friends, you could show it to them when they come and visit, but that was about it. And then they said, oh, you should start a YouTube channel. So I started a YouTube channel, and that was the only video I had on it for years and years and years. Didn't do anything at all with YouTube, really, from 2010 right the way up to probably 2018. I may put a few clips on here and there, that kind of thing. Because before I met you, and I was doing podcasts with my friend Fraser and Jonathan back in the early kind of 2012, 2013 times. Then I did my own show, just doing a few podcasts, and then I started to interview sim racers and racing drivers from around 2017 onwards. And really, it was just audio only. And then I started to do a few YouTube videos kind of on and off in 2019 with Andrew Dixon. We had the Car Sim and Race Driver Show, which was always good fun. And we had they were kind of basic, but they're a good laugh. I remember our Christmas specials wearing Santa hats and all these kind of things. They were funny. They were really, really good. And then, of course, you came on board and we did more interviews. And then, of course, we had lockdown, which allowed us to interview because we had nothing else we could do. So I went and interviewed lots of more sim drivers from Gran Turismo and also some real racing drivers as well, which was great fun. And then I had a quick break in 2021 because I got a new job. So I didn't do anything with the channel. And I'm up to about 500 and probably got to about 500 subs within about maybe a year and a half, roughly, because it really didn't start growing till the end of 2019. We had about like 30 to 50, and then bit by bit it grew from there. And then as we got more sim racers on board, we tended, because it was a live show, people used to watch that, and then they would tend to sub. So bit by bit, we got up to around about 500 odd subscribers. And when I had, just before I went away to my break from YouTube, we had about 550 odd subscribers. And then that's kind of.
I was going to interrupt you there, and I'm going to sort of skip back a little bit because I think it'd be interesting to sort of delve a little bit into that. So when we first met, I mean, you contacted me over Facebook because you'd seen some of the comments I was making on Facebook F1 forums, which I eventually got sick of because there's all these people that don't seem to understand that the racing and the competition is the fun part. It's not a football match where you have to see who's best in the league and you start shouting at each other. That's where I learnt to hate the phrase fanboy.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. But we sort of connected, and I've very happily gained a very good friend in you. It's been fantastic. But I think you'd agree that there's been pivotal moments, I suppose we'll put it, that you've had a bit of a growth. Nothing like what we've seen over the past few weeks, but like a change in the show, and it's grown a bit, and then it's kind of plateaued off a bit. So when I came on board, as you, me, and Jonathan, Andrew sort of pulled back. Andrew Dixon pulled back. He's I would say this is a show of nerds wonderfully happy nerds. And Andrew really knows his stuff. He knows his stuff with Jimmy
it's Jim
Clark.
Clark.
He's
Yeah,
involved
incredible
in the Jim
history.
Clark Museum up where
In
you're from,
Duns, yeah,
the Duns area and all that kind of stuff. And then when I came on, and we used to have a really good time, didn't we? We'd talk about stuff. I would do my thing of moaning and ranting and shouting about things, and you'd be very calm and keep it all very level, and Jonathan would be very intelligent and know what he's talking about. And then, as you say, there was a bit of a change. I remember the night when me and Jonathan were on StreamYard having a bit of a chat, and you were like, well, we've plateaued, and I need to think about what to do next to try and break the next,
to
next
get into
level,
the next
to try and do something new. And Jonathan had the brilliant idea of you interviewing people. So you've said you've always interviewed people, but for you to interview sim racers, to sort of concentrate on the sim racing side, whereas before it was General Motors. Sim racing was something I didn't even know existed until you came along, and Formula One and motor racing. And then you went, we sort of like stepped back, I suppose. I mean, it's your show. It's always been your show, but we stepped back a bit, and you started interviewing sim racers, and you had some pretty big people on. You had David Perel, who's a proper racing driver, as well as one of the main people. Is it SimGrid?
He's the founder of SimGrid. Josh Martin as well.
Great guy. I mean, I know David Perel was on 3 times. Super GT was on 3, maybe even 4 times. You've had a few pretty big names.
Yeah, a lot of top names.
Rory Alexander. You've had a few big names.
Yeah, we've had Dawkins.
You've had Kirith Carts, you've had him on.
Yeah, Kirith Cart. Yeah, he was one of the first as well. He went early in his early days. That's the thing, because for those watching who are looking at how do you improve your channel, you'll get to that bit where you will plateau and you think, right, I need to improve this. I need to get into the next stage of growing my channel and making it unique. And so that's kind of how it worked, didn't it? We thought, right, let's concentrate on the sim racers and the racing drivers. And even to this day, that's kind of where it's going. I do stream my games as well.
And unique is a great word for it, because I think it's well known throughout the sim racing community that what you do is quite unique. You're very good at interviewing people. You pull out genuine passion. I mean, real passion. I mean, like nerd passion, the kind of passion. Yeah. I've got a real problem with these cooking shows that talk about passion. I've got a real passion for cooking. Yeah, real passion is when other people's eyes glaze over because they have no idea what you're talking about, and that's what we're dealing with here. The real passion for sim racing.
And motorsport. It's quite interesting because I can remember particular Grand Prix and things that happened, and I'll mention that to who I'm interviewing, and they'll usually remember it, or they'll say, "Oh, I remember when that happened," or whatever, or they'll say, "Why am I here?"
I think so.
But
I think it got wheels.
No, my guests, I'll have you know, are very, very good. They're very intelligent people. So I only choose the cream of the cream there. But but that's the thing, because the big issue was, I thought, well, okay, there were a lot of issues with my channel, and if you go back to some of my early days and my early videos, you'll see that they were quite basic videos. So I realized I did some research, and I tried to improve my channel, like the basic branding and the info on it. So they were the first things I had to do. So much better pictures, much better, more decisive descriptions as well. So when you go onto the homepage, you can see exactly what I do, which is, of course, interviewing sim racers and then streaming my gaming. So that's what you might have to do with your own channel, isn't it? That you have to have a decent description that's quick, with all the links to subscribing and things like that, and also that people know straight away that's what you do. And you do have to.
But you would say that. I mean, all of that stuff is glossy and nice, and shows a sort of a professional face of
it. Can help. It can certainly help.
If you haven't got something, if you haven't got something that you really like to do, people can tell when you're not really invested in your own product, can't they?
Yeah.
If you didn't have that as a foundation, it would be pointless doing all the other stuff, I guess.
Aye, so that's where, in my line, because there's an awful lot of other people who stream games, I have to compare myself to that because I have to think, well, what are they doing, and how are they getting so much more attention? Their watch hours are very good,
And how can
things like
you
that.
be different in
What?
that
Yeah,
market saturated
yeah,
by people already doing that?
yeah.
There's
How do I
lots
get
of
my
them doing
niche,
it.
and how do
Yeah.
I grow that niche? Because that is ultimately you're looking for an audience, and if they're not watching your show, you have to take the hard facts that maybe it's not very good. And that's for me, that's blooming annoying because it's like you think, oh, come on, surely I'm trying, but it's not happening. And it's hard, but you have to think, okay, then what are other people doing that is maybe making them get more views or getting better retention and on their videos and things? And a lot of it is the visuals, the visual side. Especially if you're streaming, they might have like Streamlabs or Streambot and things like that. So they've got many more things going across your screen like Sparks is a fantastic one.
That's
Sparks
kind of like
TV.
a young person's thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Having so much happening on the screen, it gives me a headache.
but
It's not my kind of
it
thing.
is quite
But
quite
there is a
funny
big
though.
audience out there of
Yeah,
younger
yeah,
people that want
yeah.
to see that kind of stuff, isn't there?
But even you get like 15 points for every minute that you're on Sparks chat. So if you just sit there and watch him, you get, then you can buy stuff. You can then get him to change his
Oh,
hairstyle
right, okay.
because he's got all these little gimmicks things that can change his hair and his glasses and all these things. So you might, if you're into a particular type of streaming or gaming, whatever your channel might be, there might be something in Streambot that's free as well. You can just download it. So
Okay.
that's a really good one. I'm going to incorporate that onto OBS because I use OBS to stream.
OBS Studio,
Oh, it's
well
so
known,
bad.
so
It is.
difficult,
Oh,
so
it's like
difficult.
the hot-
Why doesn't it just work?
I know.
I've had it. I've got my 2 cameras, and I've tried it playing around on my own computer, so that you've
Yeah.
got, you get people with more than one camera, and
Yeah.
I've recorded little things and trying to get the sound and other little windows that I can fade in and fade out. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
If it works, and if it doesn't
Very
work,
unreliable.
work out why it doesn't work. I mean, it's like OBS Studio people. If you can just work out
It is
a way
free,
of
it
making
is.
it just work.
Well, you've got to hit the exit. Never close it down by the X. You've got to hit the actual exit.
Oh, go in the file and
because,
exit. Don't
no,
just.
if you go, it's on the main screen on the right-hand side, the kind of middle, bottom right kind of time, and it says exit. And you've got to hit on that because otherwise it doesn't tend to save your setup. So
Oh,
whatever
my
you've changed,
gideon.
it might not keep it, and that can cause all sorts of problems. I've got issues with I'm trying to sort my sound out when I game already this week, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I remember you saying earlier in the week that it was all working because you looked great. I was watching the stream and everything that you did and the video you uploaded, and it was fantastic. It was really high resolution, it was beautiful. And then the next time it's like, I can't get anything to work. It's gone. What the hell?
Well, I know because my voice wasn't being drowned out, but now it's being drowned out. And the comments, people said, "I can't hear you. I can see the car, but I can't hear you."
I sent a text, didn't I, saying, just have a look at your levels. But if it's not going to
still,
remember your levels, how do you know?
Well, I think I've probably messed about with it too much because Jeff tried to help me, and then I went and tried to change things.
Oh, bless him! Your tech support, our Jeff.
From the Sim
a big
Cafe.
shout out to Jeff from the Sim Cafe. What a guy! What a stud! He's brilliant.
The patience he has with me is hilarious. It is very funny.
I've tried to help you, and
I'm trying to do with wire. I have
click
one
on
wire
that.
here.
Click on this because I don't know what I'm doing either. I'm making it as I go along, and he's there going, "I don't know what you're talking about," and it's like, "Oh."
It was the wires
really
from an
need
Elgato streamer. It streamed it. My goodness, avoid all of that if you can.
I thought you were swearing at me for a long time. You kept talking about this Elgato, and I'm like, I don't like that kind of food. I just get me a pizza.
We're talking about Mexican food.
No, that's not Elgato. It is, well, I've had the odd fajita, but what is an Elgato? Anyway, so
yes,
moving away from OBS, you had. I just want to mention the fact that you started the very famous HHTCR.
Yes,
Hugh Hatchett touring car racing. A single season. You did a single season. Now you were the inspiration of it. Other people actually implemented it. And did a great job with it. And it was very popular. And we had a lot of fun running it.
I even got suspended from my own race.
Yeah, well, you're dodgy, man. Those banzai dives up the inside of people, you just can't do it. Yeah. But it also was the inspiration for other people starting their version of it. You only did the one season. Do you think that helped you, or was it more?
It was a good experience.
Something that gave other people a push to
Yes,
do it.
it gave
'Cause
other people, and that's the thing. If you have a YouTube channel, you will expect other people to copy what you do, and the same thing is you're going to copy what other people do. That is a big factor in your niche. So you have to look at your niche and say, right, what are other people doing? And I looked at Tisney's race guide, and I've been trying to do a race guide, and with
and pretty good, I
little
think
to
they
no
are.
effect.
They've
But
helped
they're
me a
getting
little
about,
bit.
yeah, they're getting about 60 to 100 views depending, and I know there's a lot I can do to improve it. But I just thought, he does quite a detailed one, takes about half an hour, and it's a very good one if you're into GT7. It's well worth watching because he does it far better than mine. But what I was trying to do was just do a very short version so that people could see what's on this week and have a quick idea of a good lap
If
time.
someone's got 5 minutes to watch
Yeah,
something, 5 to 10
exactly.
minutes, they can
Yeah,
watch that quick. I prefer that kind of thing.
yeah,
I
because it's
can't
Monday
sit
morning.
for
Yeah,
half
and
an
that's
hour
it.
watching somebody else telling me how to go a fake car around a fake track on a fake computer. I just it's
I do it
bad
like,
enough having someone
but
telling me how to drive 10 seconds after I'm doing a corner while I'm drunk at Bathurst. That's bad enough.
that's
I'd like to
that's
apologise to
Friday night,
everybody
isn't
that
it?
I
But
didn't realise I was shouting that loud at him, but
yeah,
I was rather drunk and he was rather annoying.
yeah. Now we've been going for 15 minutes, and we are not yet quite at the
Okay,
secrets
so
of
yes,
this.
I'll take control of this interview and I'll stop me talking too much. Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that. So then you plateaued again, and you plateaued at about 500 subs.
Yes.
And then you managed to get your new job, which allows you to spend more time. Because
Yeah.
I would say that the next tip is you're
Don't
gonna
be a
have
bus
to
driver.
spend time. You've got to have the
Don't be a
time to
full-time
do
bus
it.
driver.
I was
Yeah.
watching. It's a very funny fella that does pitch meetings. His name's Ryan something, Ryan George or Ryan something.
Yeah.
American beard, very funny, and he does these kind of like take the pitch meetings for films. And
Yeah.
he was answering questions on something I was watching last night, and somebody said, how do you get the success you've had? Because he's got millions of views.
Yeah.
Now he says, well, don't do it expecting to be, super famous, because the years you spend up until 1 a.m. editing your videos,
Yeah. Yeah.
you won't see a dividend on it for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you plateaued at about 500. You were putting all that time in, and then you got the new job, which allowed you to consistently put more time in again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the big boom happened, and it happened because of what? This is a very you went from 700 subs to what is like 4,800, and it was like a week.
Yeah, literally 10 days. Not even 10 days.
10 days.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
It
So
surprised us all, but pleased us as well. So, do you tell us what you did to do that?
Well, I was looking at a lot of videos about improving your channel because I thought I really need to take this further because I'd restarted the channel. We had a little bit of growth, but I thought, no, it was almost like why I'd finished it before, where I'd kind of taken time out as well because I thought I'd gotten to as far as I could go and I needed something new. I needed to renew it. And I thought, right, how do we get this thing monetized? How do we get the subscriptions up to 1,000 and more? How do we get the watch time hours working? So I went on to a video channel that was talking about the new YouTube promotions. And this is where some investment has to come in. You're going to have a bit of money, especially if you've been listening to our history here and you've had that struggle like myself. It's taken you a while and you're not at the 1,000 subs and you're wanting to try and get monetized. You're probably going to have to put some money into the channel. Ultimately, if you want to get it done, it's probably the most straightforward way. So I did 2 YouTube promotions. Now on the video, you'll see it. I'll try and put pictures up of that as well, or I'll share the screen. But what I did was you go on to your content on your studio, and then you'll have a line of options like what does it say? It says all the kind of like dashboard. It has all the kind of different bits on it for the different types of content editing and all that. You've got a whole but 5 or 6 different things, and one of those is promotions. So you simply click on the promotions banner, and in turn you can start a new promotion. So you choose the video that you want to promote, and then crucially you choose the countries that you need to promote them to. Now, the first time I did it to they were kind of recommending kind of Western Europe, or kind of like US as well, and Canada, and then Western Europe as a kind of Europe in general, as being quite decent. So I did all of that, made sure I chose English so that it's English speakers wherever they are, and then that makes sure that your people will understand what your videos are in or what language they're in. And I spent £75 over 2 weeks. And I got exactly 100 subs. And to be fair, considering the video that I had watched, that was actually pretty good value because he had spent about $200-300, and he'd got about 300 subs doing that kind of
And
provision.
100 subs at the time was a
Yeah.
significant
Yeah, well, I went from about
increase.
just under 600 to I think just over 700. It was literally exactly on 100
Which
subs.
is,
I
that's a
managed to
big
get,
chunk.
which was good
It's a
growth.
big chunk.
And it got me as well as that because people were then coming and subbing. They were also watching many of my videos as well. So that really helped the growth of not just the video I'd promoted,
Hours
but other
watched.
other videos too. So that really helped. That was the first thing. But I thought, could we do it a bit more? And then I watched the same video again about the YouTube promotions. And he said, now the better way to do it is go to countries where you get more bang for your buck, where your money goes further. So things like Indonesia, the Philippines, Uganda, all of the kind of African countries. There, you do quite well there. China.
Okay.
Or if you can choose China, I think you can. And then obviously Western Europe and so on and so forth. So I had lots of different countries, and I'll put the.
So you
I'll
moved
put
away from where there's a super saturation of these things, like
yeah.
Europe and North
like
America.
and I went to like
And
India,
you went to
Pakistan,
places where there's a
all these,
massive population.
Indonesia, all these places,
and
huge
less
population.
of that kind of content available.
Yeah.
Right.
So
okay.
and there's lots of you'll see it in the options as I put it on the pictures that there's lots of options that you can do with that. Crucially, making sure I still had English as the language, the main language. It had to be English,
Okay.
nothing else, just English. And I decided to spend £100 over 10 days. And then that was it. And I think it was a weekly race guide that I put in. That was, I mean, to be fair, when I look at the stats on it,
video.
they were only watching it for 17 seconds, but they were still subscribing, which was the most incredible thing. So it was a Monday night when I did it, when I started the promotion, and it went up by maybe 3 or 4 in a few hours. And then when I woke up on the Tuesday morning, the first thing I did, check a YouTube Studio, it went from 720 odd to 789. And I thought, my goodness, that's almost what I was expecting in a few days. But I thought if I could get that at the end of it, yeah, exactly. I thought, and it just kept going.
I'm getting hourly texts from this man saying it's gone up another 1,000. It's what? It's gone up another 400. It's gonna. And you're just watching it. It's
crazy.
Doubled in a day. It's like, what the hell's going on here?
It was mad. I mean, I thought I was aiming to get 1,000 subs. If I get 1,000 subs with that promotion, I thought, well, I spent a little bit more money, a shorter period of time, so I thought it might be a bit more concentrated on those areas and the countries that I'd put in it.
Oh yeah.
And I hit 1,000 subs on that Tuesday.
On that day.
On that day, I remember because I did a stream and people were saying, "Oh, your subs are going up," and I thought, let's have 1,000 subs celebration stream. Well, I didn't need to. It already gone past it. It'd gone past it by the time the day I was due to stream. It'd gone past
day. It was like another 1,000 odd. It was just ridiculous.
So the key thing was, I kept
crazy.
making content though, kept doing videos, kept doing the streams, and that whole week, I mean, I went to like I think it was about 1,050 by the end of that first proper day. So I was amazed, and I put it on Twitter that I had gone over 1,000, and even Super GT sent me a comment saying, "Well done on your first 1,000. Now the next 99 are really easy." So I commented back saying, "Hopefully I can get you on before 100,000." So we were like there, and he never replied. But no, lots of people replied.
He did appear in one of the. I mean, afterwards he did appear in one of your chats, didn't he? So which was nice.
That was great.
Well, I mean, what's he on now? It's half a million,
860,000, if not nearly 900,000.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So
massive. A big shout out to Super GT because he supported me a lot in the early days. Gave me some great interviews, which really helped. In fact, we had
he's a really decent guy when you consider that. I mean, he's been on your show. I remember when he was on your show the last couple of times. He was on over 250,000 subscribers then.
Oh yeah.
So to
and he enjoyed it. He said to me afterwards at the end, he really enjoyed doing them. So,
but this is what I was saying about the content. Do you think that if you'd how can I put it? If you'd had spent that £100, that second £100, or without having honed the contents to something that people really enjoyed to watch, would you have got that 4,000?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think because I've got such a list of things, so when people were coming to subscribe to the channel, they can go through the playlist, they can see all the videos I've done, and they can look for interviews. And if they're a fan of sim racers, then they could probably find their sim racer that they like on there. And they can watch it. So, because I mean, it's quite funny when you look at the history of the 48 hours of what people have been watching. It's very varied. People are coming onto the channel and watching quite varied stuff, which is great.
So
So you
people are
do need
looking
to
at
have
that one
content.
video, and
Yeah.
then they're able to go back through your bat list and see
Yeah.
stuff they like,
Yeah.
and then that's encouraging them to not only subscribe but carry on watching what you're doing.
And that comes from
So
having the description right. So because I say I interview sim racers
yes,
and real racing drivers and then stream my games, a little bit extra. So that's why you have to have the content, crucially, that makes you unique, or that you can say, this is what I've got, you need to see it. And so people are going to come and see that, and you have to enable them to be able to find it and see it easily. And then that will help with the watch hours.
yep.
So that is it. And every day it continued on. I mean, I thought it's not going to go, surely. I thought maybe 1,500 or 2,000, but like every day, the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Friday, we hit 2,000 within a couple of days. It was going up about four. I mean, it went up about 300 the first day. Then it went. One day I had like 450 odd. I had one day when I had nearly 500 subs just on that bit. So we crashed over 2,000, and I thought, at this rate, even if it averages out, we might even get to about 3,000. I was thinking that would be incredible. Well, in the end, by the Friday, it kind of started to calm down a week on the Friday, and we were at 4,840 odd. Now we're kind of at the same at the moment. So it's, but yeah, so I basically got 4,100 subs in 10 days. So it proves it's possible, and for 100 quid. So you work out that.
Well, I'll correct you there. For 100 quid and 4 years of hard work.
Yeah, that's true.
And and also, I won't say having a unique idea, but at least having, how could I use the word, passion, the actual geeky nerdiness. You're doing what you enjoy. You're not just doing a thing. You are actually doing what you enjoy and creating. You've created a big back catalogue of stuff where you and I have had a good laugh, and other people have enjoyed watching it and being on the stream. Having 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 the audacity to insult you on the screen. I don't know anybody that would do that to you.
It's all because we have fun with it, and I think because my other thing is because yes, I would love to make money from it. Of course I would. I'm being absolutely honest. I'd love to be monetized. I'm not there yet, and I have to get my watch hours up, and that's part 2 of this video when we make the next part. Of getting it properly sorted, and I'm looking at SEOs and things like that to try and get it all up to date.
Search engine optimization. Anybody wants to know what SEO is? There are videos on how to do it on YouTube. I've looked at a few of them. And it does work. It's a case of tailoring the wording of whatever you're making, whether it's some kind of article. If you're writing an article, this is why I was looking up SEOs, because there was a job for it wasn't a journalist, but it was someone to sort of rewrite articles so that they get picked up by Google search engines. That's what SEO is about, just so people know.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. And then now, so here we go from here, and we're just trying to get more. We're going to do more interviews, hopefully more racing drivers, more sim racers, and just continually trying to expand the market of what we have and try and
enjoy the
build on
fantastic community that you've got.
Yeah,
a bunch of nutters from literally all over the world.
Yeah,
who have the very strange obsession of pretending to drive a car around a television screen.
Yeah, I know.
Weird.
We're old men. Not
old men.
Old men playing games.
Apparently only kids do this kind of stuff.
And amazingly, people are watching. So we appreciate everybody who does, because we have a lot of fun doing it. And we have a lot of laughs as well with the chat and people making good jokes and different things about how bad I am and the rest of it. So it is fun.
Terrible man.
And then when all
you have to do is do this. The gold's very hard to get. Well, you always get one. Shut up.
When we did our commentary, to those who are watching, if you like watching the racing, when we did our commentary on Tea's Amazon, ACC, they were the best because it was all the franglais. We couldn't pronounce the names right, or I couldn't pronounce the names.
You couldn't pronounce it. Get it right. My job was to correct you. My job is, generally speaking, to keep you humble and correct your pronunciation.
Yes. So we had lots of fun with all of that.
Hello.
So
also, if you could, your Scottish accent, we've got to mention it's got. I mean, people used to love Taya because she was French and she used to say things like poopy and banana. But you, of course, you're like, okay, the new Jimmy. and I'm famous for saying things like, "Oh, Hughie, if you don't do as you're told, I'm going to hit you with a big stick," stuff like that. Yeah, we have a laugh. But you're also a very good driver. That helps. Very quick. I think I can't say.
Yeah, I've learned that from being a bus driver now.
Oh my goodness! You imagine those kids on that school bus of yours.
That's why they're silent. They sit in silence.
Well, Mr. Hatrick, you want to go around that corner again using the handbrake? Anyway, so that's
been taken 30 minutes of top tips.
30 minutes of top tips. You should have now. I'm in charge of this stream today. So, Mr. Hatrick, to end, would you like to do an ending statement and say goodbye to all of our fantastic viewers?
Well, thank you very much for watching. There will be a part 2 when I get the SEO. When I get fully monetized, I'm going to do a celebration. How to get monetized.
So what level?
In less than 10 years.
We're talking 1 million subs or 500,000?
I think, my aim now is to get, by the end of the year, end of 2024, to get to 20,000 subs. That's going to be my aim. And hopefully we can do a bit more than that. But the key thing is get monetized, get those 4,000 hours, get doing more shorts, and just continue to try and improve the channel. I'll be hiring new staff if I have to improve the channel. And
hiring? Me and John are still waiting for our paycheck.
Yeah, those paychecks with a blank and a zero. And
I'm still waiting to be taken for free to the Goodwood Festival of Speed.
That will come. It will come in time.
Yes, we promise one day it'll be me, him, and him.
It will happen. It will happen.
So I'm thinking of Morecambe and Wise with Andrew Preview, with him and him. So you'll be there going him and him, Goodwood, and we'll be there. I'll be doing the camera. No one wants to see my face on the camera. So there you go.
The main thing is that it's possible. You're going to do the right content, improve the content, keep going at it, and have fun with it. Enjoy it. If it's not fun, honestly, don't bother. It's not worth it. But if you have fun with it and you enjoy it, people will recognize that. And over time, with a lot of hard work and maybe with a bit of money investment, certainly YouTube promotions are definitely worth it. There you go. You can get to 1,000 subs and more, maybe even 5,000 or 6,000 in 8 days. No doubt. Let me know in the comments what you think in the video and how you're getting on with your channel. And if I can be of any more use, just let me know.
So I will end this stream. You get ready for your clicking your button by saying, drive fast, but crash your bus faster.
Almost. Bye to stay.
Bye.